Welcome back to Tarot and Beyond. Today we're doing a Lemurian reading. So these are messages from Lemuria, and I was inspired to create this reading because I accidentally took the wrong exit when I was driving home today, and I ended up in a location where I'd never really stopped before, and there was a crystal shop there. I went in, and this deck called to me. It's the Beyond Lemuria Oracle cards, and I just realized right now that it says Beyond, and that's literally the name of my channel, Tarot and Beyond. So this is really interesting, and I want to see what messages come up from the Lemurians using these oracle cards. So we have 3 options to choose from: card 1, 2, or 3. Let your intuition choose the reading, and then use the timestamps linked in the description box or pinned in the comment section below to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings. If you do feel called to more than one, that's totally fine. Sometimes there may be messages in all the readings, or all of the readings will resonate. Just take what messages do resonate with you and leave the rest, as we are doing general readings and for many people. All right, I'm excited to see what the Lemurians have to say. We'll see you in your readings. All right, hi group number 1, welcome to your reading. Let's find out what the Lemurians have to say to you. So you have chosen the Earth Star Chakra card, and it says initiation. So this is the number 1. It feels very much like a new beginning. This is my first time using the deck, and your pile number 1, and we've just drawn a 1 card. So this is very significant. It feels quite profound. The Earth Star Chakra is actually one that connects us to the collective here on Earth. It also connects us to the core of the planet and the Mother Earth energy. So I've done a lot of Earth Star activations back when I used to take clients and I did energy healing work. And a lot of the time what I would see is that if people had suffered any extreme trauma or pain in their past lives here on Earth, especially during experiences in the Atlantean or Lemurian timelines, their Earth Star chakra would really need some healing, and we would need to kind of repair things, bring the Earth Star back into its natural harmonic state, so that the stability here in the Earth realm could be achieved. So I feel like you, group number 1, are being drawn to this reading, or have been drawn to this reading, because the Lemurian side of you, which you do have, has been wounded significantly through the fall of that timeline and the subsequent trauma that resulted in the civilization's breakdown. Lemurians were and are very high vibrational souls, and they had a purity of essence. And so when this collective trauma occurred, a lot of the very sensitive Lemurian souls were impacted by that. So I feel like we actually need to do some healing for you, group number 1. So if you consent to me sending you energy, just consent in your head, comment yes below, or like the video, or all of the above, whatever you feel called to do. I'm just going to start sending you guys some healing because Spirit is really, really prompting me to do that. Okay, so and we'll see what comes through. So I'm going to start sending the energy now, and I'm sending it through actually the root chakra and then down to the Earth Star chakra. So we're going to connect the root and the Earth Star to help those two to communicate and create a sense of safety, peace, and security through this very grounded energy, so that you can feel safe, not only here on Earth and in the collective, but also within your body. A lot of the trauma that I'm feeling was connected to the physical body and how you went through the trauma in that lifetime. There may have been traumatic death. There may have been what you may have witnessed other people dying in traumatic ways as the cataclysm occurred. And this is all channeling through me right now. So I want to support you guys in healing and reuniting within yourself so that you can feel safe to be here and safe within your own body, and know that nothing like that is going to happen again, okay? Spirit is really, really emphasizing this right now. They want you to know that you're safe. This timeline is intact. There will not be a fall. There is a rise. And so as you feel safe in your body and connected to the earth consciousness and the collective here on the planet at this time, not only is this going to to help you to heal. It's also going to assist the collective in rising and ascending. So your frequency is extremely powerful. And therefore, when it's in its aligned state, you are extremely transformative. Spirit wants you to know that. And that's why they've called you to this reading today, so that I could provide some energy healing for you. I was not expecting to do this, but it's all just channeling through right now. And we need to go with what Spirit wants us to do so that you can connect back to your authentic self again. It feels like a part of you was lost in those timelines. And so healing the Earth Star and the root chakra is going to help to bring those back together, recrystallize. They just told me recrystallize. And the quartz point, the Lemurian seed crystal that was chosen for you, was chosen intuitively. They're just pictures because I don't actually have any, but they're telling me that the reason I was called to that one is because it holds seed information about physical healing. And they just said emotional ease and well-being. So there's a physical and an emotional component to this healing that we're doing for you here today, group number 1. And this is assisting the Earth Star chakra. And they're saying that it's also connected to the third eye and the crown chakra. So this is really like a full top to bottom kind of a refurbish is what they just said. They gave me the word refurbish. That's so funny. So the repair is bringing all of the system back together and reuniting the parts of you that were lost within those timelines of the cataclysm. Okay. All right. So now they're giving me the go ahead to grab some more cards. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. So we're going to use this deck. So for group number 1, actually there's 2 there. You have the heart chakra, unfurling back to love. Okay, so this is, it's like a full top to bottom chakra refurbish. They keep using that word refurbish. That's so funny. Solar plexus chakra, radiant illumination. Okay, so there's, this is a full chakra cleanse. Let me grab one more. There it is. They said they want me to just talk about these and go a little deeper here first, and then we'll see what this fourth card is. Okay, so they want me to do a little energy healing for the entire system. Actually, it's kind of more like an activation. So the first little bit that we did there was healing as it kind of like brings everything back together. And as the chakra system is refurbishing, and it's happening very quickly, is what they're showing me. So it's like you catalyzed this so fast for yourself, clicking on the video, watching this, receiving the healing that you really need. This is activating in a very, very like fast, real time. So if you're feeling it right now, just know that that's normal and it's perfectly fine. If anything's coming up, emotions or any pain, just let yourself feel it. If that is happening right now, okay, I know that I'm with you and I love you and you're safe. And Spirit is with you and they love you and you're safe. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, they want me to do a top to bottom chakra alignment for you guys. So I'm going to start bringing actually some Reiki. So I am a Reiki master. This is Reiki. So I'm bringing some Reiki into the crown chakra and activating the vertical power current and just bringing that descending energy down from the top all the way to the root. So we're going to hit all the points on each of the chakras. So from the crown to the root, going down each one, getting them into alignment. So it's kind of like if this one was off a little, this one was off a little, this one was off a little, we're just kind of like bringing them all back into alignment. Okay. So this is an activation for alignment specifically, and this helps you to have cohesion between all of the chakras so they can communicate effectively, share energy, and this increases your vital force energy flow through the body as well. So again, it's energy healing and physical healing. It's emotional healing as well. It's like these are all the different parts of it. Okay. There is a little bit of a block in the solar plexus. So I think we need to do a little healing there too. No, they don't want me to do healing on the solar plexus for you guys. They want you to discover this for yourself. It's a very personal thing, and they don't want me to go into detail about it. It would infringe on your privacy and your free will. Okay, so I won't do that. Spirit is just recommending that you find a Lemurian seed crystal. So like go to your local crystal shop, or even shopping online is fine. Just use your intuition. It'll call you to the right crystal. It's usually the first one that you see or that calls to you or you feel like a strong connection to. Get yourself a Lemurian seed crystal if you can, and put it over your stomach, so over top of your solar plexus chakra, just around the navel. And they're saying that this information will come out. It's like the Lemurian seed crystal will draw out the information about what this blockage is in the solar plexus, so that you can see it, understand it, release it, and heal it. Okay, so that's what they're recommending. Now they're giving me the go ahead on this card, the Infinite. Wow. What's really standing out to me is the DNA spiral that's coming out from her crown chakra. So I feel like you guys are doing some DNA level healing, and they're giving me a confirmation on yes. They're saying, yes, that's true. So you guys are doing DNA level healing because you're healing the chakra system, because you're healing the emotional body and the soul blueprint as well. Yeah, they're all connected. And we can see in this card the heart chakra glowing as well. And the wings. The wings to me, when I did energy healing sessions, often I would see energetic wings on people who were light workers. So people who are here to be of service to the collective, and who come from an energy of divine love. If the intention is coming from a place of compassion, love, empathy, kindness, and like empowerment and sovereignty, I would very, very often see wings on those people. And they're not like literal wings, although sometimes they can look like that. Sometimes they look like energy wings. And sometimes they actually look like, I've seen all sorts. I've seen like beautiful, shiny black feather wings like a crow. I've seen white pearlescent wings. I've seen rainbow aura wings. I've seen diamond wings. I've seen like little baby wings. I've seen people with wings that were hurt and broken and they needed to be repaired. I've seen wings that were embedded into the skin and hadn't come out yet, and we actually needed to do energy surgery to help the wings to be free. And basically what that represents is like repression of the light worker through fear or through pain and suffering. And so I've seen a lot of stuff in the years that I did a lot of energy healing work and spiritual counseling, but I'm seeing that you guys are, we're talking about this for a reason in this reading. Now they're drawing me to the heart chakra with the dragonfly wings and unfurling. Yeah, so your wings are unfurling. Oh, that's what it is. See, when I'm channeling, it just comes out of my mouth, and then my brain like registers it a second later. That's why I'm like, I said it, and then I'm like, oh, because you're unfurling back to love. You're through the healing of the Earth Star chakra and the rest of the system, you are unfurling your wings. You're stepping back into your light worker status, abilities, purpose, service, So what this can look like oftentimes is just coming from a place of compassion and love. And the highest intention is to be that love that you seek to see in the world. Yeah, they keep giving me the word kindness over and over and over again. So this is very much about and not just like physical, practical kindness, like what you can actually do for other people, but I mean kindness to yourself as well. And most importantly, kindness in your thoughts. Because we can be very, very kind to other people with our actions, but where it's harder to regulate things is in our thoughts and in our feelings, in our emotions, So if we can train ourselves to be kind in the way that we think and the way that we feel, and then subsequently in the way that we act, this can be really, really the highest service to humanity. And it does come from the heart, and then it's expressed through the solar plexus in how we take action, how we implement things, the goals that we set for ourselves, and the practical steps that we take to achieve those goals. Being a light worker means that you are in service to the collective. You are here to help humanity to ascend by bringing light and love to the planet through your embodiment. That is what you're here for, group number 1. And this Lemurian connection is here to remind you of that. That is what you did in Lemuria. That is what you're doing here. It's the same thing, but it's a different storyline. It's a different story arc, and you are an infinite soul. Even though Lemuria did not end well and you experienced that, it does not mean that that will repeat. That was a chapter in the story. It's not a cycle that repeats itself, at least not in this lifetime. As an infinite soul, you are safe. You cannot be harmed or destroyed. You will continue to exist. And if we look at this from the soul perspective, we can understand that even though we have lifetimes that are challenging or even potentially very traumatic, overall as a soul, we cannot be hurt or destroyed. We can be damaged to a certain extent, but we can always repair that because we're infinite and we have infinite amount of time to do it. So there's no like deadline. There's no limit. And what they're showing me right now is that you really needed to be called to this reading so that you could kind of have your faith in your own soul perspective restored, so that you can see it from a higher perspective or point of view, so that, the human experiences that you had in Lemuria and possibly even in incarnations subsequent to that, and in this one too, there's an awareness that you're gaining or that you are or have already begun to unlock within you that is helping you to see this larger story arc and trajectory of how all of these different sort of storylines have interconnected in the larger story arc of the human collective ascension. Everything has its purpose. Every timeline has a reason for being. And everything that is created is divine. So this is the radiant illumination that they're really talking about with the solar plexus card here, is the awareness of why things happened the way they did from that soul level perspective, not from the human perspective, from the soul level, from the infinite perspective, the creator perspective, God consciousness. And that's what's also being activated right now. The initiation here is a heart chakra activation as well. And this is connected to Christ consciousness, which is, Christ is just a word meaning Christed. Christed is really just about the consciousness being united with the all. It's not really to do with religion or anything like that. It's just the unity consciousness, basically. And that's what the infinite is. It's the unity of the all. Because if something is infinite, it is singular. By definition, it cannot be separate. It can have separate parts, but it is one thing. That's unity. So this is the initiation, and you're transforming. The dragonfly here is representing transformation. And the dragonfly life cycle is quite interesting. They're born in the water. They mature on land. And while their wings are forming, they actually have to spend, I don't know if this is accurate, but I know that they have to, I don't know if it's 30 days particularly, but I know that they have to spend a long period of time with their wings unfurling, and they have to remain perfectly still while they do that. It leaves them very vulnerable, actually, because they have to wait until their wings dry and harden before they can fly. So the dragonflies that you see flying around, they kind of had a pretty harrowing journey to get to where they can just fly around like that. And that's kind of what I'm seeing. It's a general theme that you guys have experienced at soul level. Like you were born in the water, which is like the deep emotional realm. You came up onto the land, which is the stability and the third dimensional reality of the human realm. And then you created those wings for yourself, but during that vulnerable period was where that cataclysm happened. And that's why it was so particularly traumatic at soul level, was because you were just in the process of unfurling those wings and waiting for them to solidify, and then that happened. And they're saying that was unfortunate, but everything happens for a larger reason. And you're here, you're back. and because you're infinite. And now what's happening is that unfurling is occurring again. And this time you're going to make it through the process. You're actually almost done the process. And that's why you were drawn to this reading, so that I could help you with the tail end of it. Basically giving you the extra oomph or the extra boost, because I am an activator energetically and at soul level. My soul blueprint is hardwired to activate other souls, either to awaken them or to heal them or to assist you in healing yourself. Because actually, technically, nobody heals anybody else. We all just activate within you the capacity to heal yourself. And they're showing me that your wings are unfurling right now and you're ready, or you're just about ready to take flight. There's a little bit more of that solidification, but the activation of the Earth Star, the recalibration or refurbishment of the entire chakra system, and the activation through the heart and the healing you're going to be doing in the solar plexus, or that you've already started to catalyze here, is very much like the final stages of the unfurling of these wings. Okay, so you're doing a wonderful job. Thank you so much for being here, group number 1. I'm sending you so much love, so much healing, blessings, and protection. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi, group number 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at what card you chose. Oof, vulnerability. Okay. All right. So I'm interested to see what's going to come up for you. Okay. I feel like you guys are, my heart is starting to cinch is like the only word that I can use to describe it. Cinching is kind of like, it's like tightening up a little bit. I get the sense that you guys are going through a transformation right now. This dragon, this like snake dragon, is reminding me of transformation and rebirth. So you guys are going through a pretty vulnerable stage right now. The lily pads here are looking like, you're kind of going through the mud at this time. Or you're just coming up into the water. I feel like you're like in between the mud and the water stage of this evolution. And the Lemurians want to help you to get through this vulnerable stage with protection, is what I'm seeing. They're also sending you codes, is what they're saying. They're sending you codes. So they want you to know that there's information coming in and being downloaded through your consciousness. Specifically when you're sleeping, is what they're telling me. So pay attention to your dreams. That can be helpful. Maybe write them down to see what the information is, because right now you're like, you're downloading codes, you're being seeded with information, and it's helping you to get through this vulnerable stage and to come out the other side. You're going to be enlightened, basically. You're going to be enlightened when you come out the other side. Now, that doesn't mean like it's like full-blown enlightenment and you're just done for the rest of your life and okay, that's great. But it's going to be a whole new level of consciousness, basically. And we go through many stages of these kind of awakenings and things like that. But there's going to be a new phase or stage of enlightenment. That's basically what they're showing me here. They're mentioning sound healing. So if you guys are interested in, or you have access to sound healing, maybe just even using, like here on YouTube, I know that there's like copious amounts of videos that have Hertz frequency sound meditations or energy healing through sound and things like that. They're recommending that. If you can even go to like a sound healing a session somewhere, like with singing bowls and stuff like that, or tuning forks would be really helpful for you guys right now, basically because you're going through a soul shift at the moment, and having some kind of sound healing is going to help to stabilize your body and the soul. Yeah, specifically the soul, because it's going through, it's kind of like shifting harmonics right now is what they're showing me. And so doing that sound healing is going to help to kind of stabilize you. Yeah, because this vulnerable stage is a bit shaky. And so it's going to help you to balance. Okay, now they're drawing my attention to the crystals here. And I did select from online because I don't have any actual Lemurian seed crystals, but they told me to look up the pictures of them because we can still connect to the energy of that particular crystal and the message that it has. And I just intuitively picked all 3 of them and then selected them for the readings. So I'm going to tune into the energy of the crystal that I selected for you guys and see what the message is there as well. They said it's a message of recovery. So you guys are in recovery right now. But it's also about recovering information. Oh, yeah. Okay. So yeah, you're recovering information that was lost in the Lemurian. They also said Atlantean. So there's something you're like connected to both of those timelines, not just Lemuria, but also Atlantis. And yeah, you're recovering this data from within your soul. And it's through the shifting of your frequency at soul level. That's what's doing it, because you're shifting to a harmonic that was similar to the ones that you embodied in those lifetimes. And so as a result, you're kind of like regaining or remembering at soul level this information. That doesn't mean that your human consciousness remembers this, but your soul is unlocking it. And slowly but surely it will be seeded into your consciousness. Again, they're emphasizing that it's happening in dream time, when you're sleeping at night and you're in the astral realm or in your astral body. And from there, what's happening is it's going to kind of like trickle down. There's like a trickle down effect that they're showing me where it's coming into the human consciousness mind. So like your human self, your ego self will begin to start putting the pieces of the puzzle together and uncovering more and more information about these timelines, about yourself, about what you learned there, what you embodied, and what you're doing here in this lifetime. They are calling me to get more cards now, so I'm just going to move this one over. So we're going to grab a few more from this deck. So for group 2, oh, that one for sure. That one I feel as well. We'll get one more. Oh, it is the one on top. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. So let's see. Oh, you have the root chakra, ground and center. Yeah, because that's going to help you create stability here. So if you're feeling vulnerable through this phase, because it is quite transformative, it's soul level recovery, which does have an emphasis on the body. Like I was saying, there's an aspect here of the physical body that's going through this transformation as well. You may even be in some kind of physical recovery. Maybe you're recovering from an illness, or you're recovering from some kind of a setback is what they're showing me. It could be an emotional wound that you're recovering from, or a physical issue with the body, or both. And if it's both, it's because they're interrelated energetically. But yeah, they're showing me that you're, again, like the root chakra is kind of like the roots of the lotus that is down underneath the surface, and then it comes up and into the light. And that's where the that consciousness is being accessed, or it's able to be accessed in its full state. That's like the enlightenment stage. But right now you're in the seed phase. Yeah. They're drawing my attention to the stars in this card. I mean, they're quite small. I don't even know if you guys can see that. Hold on. Yeah, the little stars there. And in this one, they were showing me the shooting stars in the background. So this is talking about star seed consciousness. So, you did live lifetimes in Lemuria and Atlantis, but before that you came from the stars. So you're a galactic being. And I'm getting that some of you hail from Sirius, which makes sense. I can see why you would be drawn to this reading, because I'm a Sirian soul. Resonance, Hey, soul fam, welcome. Love you. The key here to anchoring this seated consciousness is to really ground down to create that sense of stability. Now they're getting me the go ahead to pull the rest of the cards here. You have the portal keeper. Wow. And look at this Egyptian style cat. Egypt is very much related to Atlantis, and it's also very much affiliated with Syrians. I've lived many lifetimes myself in Egypt, and oh, yes, the Syrians are portal keepers, aren't they? I mean, many galactic races are portal keepers, but the Syrians, There's a portal in Egypt that they're telling me right now. They just gave me the word protector. You're a protector. You protect humanity. Yeah, look at this. I didn't even notice there's like the evil eye protection right there. Right. So yeah, you guys are guardians. They just gave me the word guardian host. And if you're not familiar with that term, they're recommending you look it up on ascensionglossary.com. If I can remember, I'll link it below. Okay. Yeah, you're in a transition stage right now is what they're showing me. You're going from that one state of being to the other. But you're stepping into this protector role once again in this lifetime because it kind of laid dormant for a bit there while you were going through some really hard things. And again, my heart is feeling like it's hurting. So you may have been really, really suffering. Oh, I'm so sorry. I can feel it. I'm so sorry if that was the case. Okay, because I can feel your suffering and your pain right now in my heart and in my body. And it feels like it's almost getting like hard to breathe a little bit. They want you to know you're coming out of this, or you will come out of this. If you're still sort of in the interim phase and you're feeling extra vulnerable, you will come out of this, okay? It's inevitable that you will come out of this and you'll be stronger. No, not even stronger. You'll be strong. You're already strong. You're strong going through this. You're strong when you come out. The suffering doesn't necessarily make you stronger. It really just kind of exposes your strength that was already there. Yeah. And you're a protector, so you have to be strong, right? That's like, I don't mean you have to be strong. I mean like it's a prerequisite to be a protector. You have to be a strong soul to be able to be in that role or to choose that role for yourself. So basically this just tells me how strong you are, group number 2. Extremely strong, okay? Extremely strong. So if you're feeling weak right now, if you're feeling vulnerable, please know how freaking strong you really are. I hope you can feel the energy that I am mirroring back to you right now. You are strong. Do not give up. Do not give in. Never back down. Never surrender. That's so funny that they're giving me that line from Galaxy Quest. Oh yeah, Galaxy Quest, because you guys are starseeds. If you haven't seen that movie, it's amazing. It's so good. With Tim Allen, it's so funny, but it's actually quite profound. So I would recommend checking that out because you guys might resonate with some of the meanings there. Okay, let's look at the last card you have. She of the Lotus. Look at that. The Lotus. I knew it. You guys are in the Lotus stage, and there's 3 stages to that. So the first one, like I said, is where you're buried in the mud. That's the pain, that's the suffering, that's the hardship. Then you come up into the water, which is where you're starting to ascend. You're becoming more cognizant of your emotional realm and your emotional body. You're starting to do some healing of the different layers of the soul. You bring everything back together, and then you come up out of the water, and the lotus comes into the surface, and it's into the light. Now it can actually receive the light. And that is the enlightenment stage where you have consciousness, you're fully embodied, you've healed yourself to a fairly high degree, although there will always be more, different cycles of healing that take place for all of us throughout our lifetimes. And that's normal and that's okay. But I'm seeing that you are, you're in this stage right now where you're in between the mud and the water, but you're going to be coming up into the light. And it's going to really nourish you at soul level, and you're going to feel the strength of your soul again in a way that you never have, at least not in this lifetime. You felt it before, of course, it's who you are. You can't never have felt that. But I mean in this lifetime. You've never felt it in this lifetime, and you're going to feel it, and you're going to be mind blown. You're going to be shook. They're saying it's going to be shocking. It's like a little bit shocking how powerful you actually are. Whoops. I didn't realize those were off center. Sorry, let me move these into the center. I can't see the cards when I'm doing the reading from the camera. There we go. Sorry. I know that my Sirian side is like very anal about positioning of stuff. And that happened for a reason, actually. Because Sirians, I've worked with so many Sirian souls. I used to do soul realignment Akashic readings. I did psychic energy healing and clearing sessions. I did activations. I worked very, very intimately with hundreds and hundreds of starseeds from all over the world. And what I've noticed about starseeds from Sirius, and there's many different variations because, over time, there was many civilizations that lived on Sirius. There's different planets on Sirius, Sirius A, Sirius B. There's a couple of tertiary planets as well. It's a big solar system, and there's many beings that hail from there. But overall, the collective consciousness of the Sirian group, which I'm part of, again, they tend to be very focused on systems, order, stability, and that's what creates the protection. It's like through these systems and structures that keep things very balanced. And so I remember in one client session, I was taken to Sirius and I actually saw what it was like there, at least in that time period. There's many civilizations over time, but they showed me that the Sirians, they looked like humanoid. They were tall, slim. They had sort of purplish green skin. I don't even know how to describe that, with like some markings on it. And well, some of them had, not all of them had markings, but some of them had. And the planet was beautiful. The atmosphere was kind of like purpley. Like the sun just had like a more, like our sun here on Earth is like very yellow. And so it casts that yellow light on the planet. So our atmosphere kind of looks like yellowy when we look outside. But on Sirius, the color of Sirius A is actually more blue. And that was what it looked like from on the planet too. It was like this sort of purplish light was what it looked like. And so it gave everything like this really beautiful sort of purplish cast. And the planet was huge. It was really big. They had land and sea. They had, all sorts of plant life. It was very, very rich. And it was all natural. They didn't have any like roads or any structures like that. What they did have though was these like crystal towers that they created out of their mind every night to go to sleep in. They slept standing up in those towers. And throughout the day, what they would do is all of the Sirians on that planet, they would go out into the landscape and into the environment, and they would monitor everything. They would monitor the ocean levels and the plant life and the other animals and all of the consciousness of the planet itself. And they would telepathically communicate with the whole entire rest of that group. And everyone would simultaneously be kind of like transmitting information all the time. And the purpose of this was that they were kind of like caretakers of the land. They were protectors of the land. And so they would monitor everything and make sure everything was in balance, so everything was very, very balanced, harmonious. All the creatures were safe. The environment was thriving. The collective consciousness was healthy. Like they very much strove for order and harmony and balance in like the highest degree. And then they would like sleep at quote unquote night, although I didn't see any sunset. They just kind of like went into those like crystal tower things that kind of just formed. And they would stand there for like 10 minutes and that was their sleep. It was so weird. But anyway, they're beautiful, beautiful beings. And the reason I'm telling you this story is because I feel like you guys have lived incarnations in that particular group, because there's, like I said, many. If you want to know more about the Sirian Collective, I do have a Starseed Origin series on my old YouTube channel, ToKittyandBeyond. I will try to remember to link it below. And if you guys want to learn more about soul realignment readings, I have all of the affiliate links down there as well. You guys you're going through a reawakening of this seated consciousness within you, and remembering who you are on like multiple levels of consciousness. The Sirian aspect, the Lemurian aspect, the Atlantean aspect, the current aspect, and kind of merging all of those together. That's why it's a little bit of a vulnerable process, and there is a lot of healing involved in that. But ultimately, it's helping you to step back into your role as a portal keeper, because you're here to be a protector. You're here to be part of the rebalancing of humanity. Yeah, But you got to take care of yourself first. You've got to make sure that you are stable, so that you can help to assist the stability of the collective at this time. So do what you need to do to focus on you right now. Reintegrating parts of these consciousness, or parts of these different fragments of your souls is helpful. Because as you bring yourself back together, all of these pieces come back together, and the vulnerability will turn to strength again. Because something that is whole is a lot stronger than something that is fractured. Let me see if there's anything else here that the Lemurians want to let you know, or that Spirit wants to let you know about. They're saying be gentle, be kind to yourself, be gentle. If you've been feeling vulnerable, this may have left you kind of, I'm seeing like almost like attacking yourself internally for perceiving yourself as weak, because the foundation of your soul is strength. So if your human ego consciousness perceives you as weak, it's like there's like a rift between those two energies, and it's like there's this disharmony, because the identity at the human level and the soul level embodiment are not matching, and so it creates this like friction or tension. And they want you to understand that you are very, very strong, so that you can integrate that knowing into your consciousness as a human. That way there's less friction, less tension, and the actual flow of that strength will be embodied much easier and more smoothly. Okay, so ground and center yourself. Forgive yourself for any misperception of yourself through the eyes of that ego. It's not your fault. That's part of the mission here. We all signed up to go through the veil of forgetting and struggle along for a time, but you're here, you're doing it, you're healing. You wouldn't be called to this reading if you weren't. So that's a testament to your strength. It's a testament to the point in your transition right now that you're evolving through, okay? So I'm sending you so much love and healing and protection to support you in the expansion into this consciousness, and the support that you have within not only the Sirian collective, but the entire body of light collective is what they just called it, the body of light, the body of love. Okay, so I'm sending you guys so much love. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi group number 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out what the Lemurians want to let you know. You have Journey to Wholeness. Wow, those are some boobs. Let me cover those up. There we go. Sorry, Madonna. We got to cover up the tatas. I don't know why I want to call her Madonna. Like, not Madonna the singer. I like Madonna what even does Madonna refer to? Is that like the Virgin Mary? I don't know. But they gave me that, they gave me that phrase. Sorry, Madonna. Interesting. Anyway, YouTube has some pretty strict rules on nudity, so we have to just cover up anything exposed, even in the cards. Okay, so anyway, back to your reading, group number 3. I love that you have number 33 here on your card. So you're group 3, and you chose the number 33. Sorry, I don't know if you could see that. And I'm getting like Venusian energy from this card. Maybe that's what the Madonna refers to. Is that a thing? But yeah, I'm getting very Venusian energy. So I feel like you're on a journey to, I want to say actually sexual liberation. It's ironic that we have to cover her up, because I think that the energy of your reading is very much focused on sexual liberation and kind of like reconnection to your divine feminine essence. And divine feminine is within all of us. So whether you identify as a masculine or a feminine, a male or a female, it's not gender specific, it's the energy signature. And we all have both polarities. So I feel like you're reconnecting to this wholeness through the integration and reclamation. They just gave me the word reclamation of your divine feminine principle, your divine feminine energy. There's a rebirth that I'm seeing happening for you. It's like quite literally they're showing me like Venus being born out of the ocean. What is the story of Venus? I think it was something to do with two of the other planets having sex, and then some of the baby making batter. Oh God, that's horrible. Some of the baby juice. Oh God, there's really no good way to say this, is there? Oh my God, this is so awkward. Some of the seed, let's just call it that. Some of the seed fell into the ocean and it created Venus, the goddess Venus, aka Aphrodite, depending on whether it's Roman or Greek. And so it's like her inception was very much about this energy of sexuality, and then it fell into the oceans, and the ocean is very much about like the feminine energy, the feminine principle, the emotions. So I see this aspect of you going through a process of reintegration, because that's how we achieve wholeness, is by reintegrating parts of ourselves that we've been disconnected to, or that have lain dormant, or that have been wounded in some way. It's like you're bringing everything back together. So I'm seeing, like sacral chakra being emphasized here, heart chakra as well. Mostly sacral though, because it's very much concerned with your physical expression of pleasure, your physical expression of really like the physical sensory experience of sexuality. Yeah. Okay. I was not expecting this from your reading, but that's what's coming up. Okay. Let's get some more cards. No, they're telling me not yet. There's something else. They are drawing my attention to the eye, the third eye there, and the eye in the star. So there's something here about the third eye or awareness in general. It's like having conscious, mindful awareness of this pattern. That's what they want to talk about. And oh, that's why. Right. I forgot this was the Lemurian reading. When I get channeling, sometimes I get so immersed into the energy and what's coming through that I completely forget even what we're doing, or like what the context is. And they're showing me that in Lemuria, the divine feminine energy was very, very sacred in the collective, and everybody had it activated, and it was, operating at a very high level. So that being said, everyone was very free, and they're showing me that people very rarely wore clothes. Like everyone was very free with their body, and it wasn't like an objectified sexual thing. It was just kind of like the sacred honoring of your physical form. And they were all very free with their sexuality, not in the promiscuous sense, but in like a sacred way where it was honored as like the merging of souls, or for the creation of life, or to expand and heal energy is what they just told me as well. So you can actually use sexual energy to heal yourself is what they just told me. And so you're reconnecting to that as well. And that's also helping to create this wholeness. And so they're kind of they brought you to this reading to kind of help you to remember, because you were in Lemuria at that time. Oh, no, you weren't. Oh, you're the only group who actually wasn't in Lemuria. I just assumed that you were, and then they actually showed me, no, you weren't. You are affiliated with that energy simply because it's helping you to reintegrate this wholeness of the divine feminine within you. You are a rare group that was actually not in the Lemurian timelines. Oh, they're showing me that you guys were actually tasked with being on different timelines at that period. Okay. I mean, time's not linear, and timelines are very, very complicated. Like, I'm a Time Lord, but I still, like, my human self doesn't fully even understand it. My soul gets it, and my soul's a master at it, but my human self is like, wait, what? But all time it's like non-local, it's non-linear, and it's all simultaneous. So it gets a little confusing, but what they're basically showing me is that you guys were not physically present, incarnated during the Lemurian timelines. You guys were elsewhere, and you're just connecting to this energy now as a way of reclaiming the divine feminine within yourself and healing that sexuality, because that was the civilization in humanity's blueprint that most embodied the balanced masculine and feminine energy in its sacred form in its unified whole, they just told me. Yeah. And so by connecting to that timeline, because if you're incarnated on Earth and you're part of the human collective, you can access not only the collective consciousness that exists right now, but every single collective consciousness that has existed in the past. And they're also telling me in the future. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Yeah. What? Yeah. Okay. Ooh, I got to dive into that one. I want to dive in. I'm gonna do some meditations on that because that's really cool. So yeah, you're going into those past timelines in the collective human consciousness to re-access the information and the template. It's like an energy signature, and when you access that template, you embody it, basically. Yeah, that's what they're showing. Like, you embody it when you connect to that frequency, and then it helps you to do this reintegration and this wholeness work that you're currently doing right now. They just drew me back to the 33. So, and in group number 3, so that's 333. You may be seeing 333 a lot, or it may be kind of coming up in certain cycles where you notice that you're connecting to reunification or your feminine self. But 333 is also about ascended. I was going to say ascended masters, but then they actually showed me the triangle, which is the Trinity. And okay, they're showing me that the bottom left is the divine feminine, the bottom right is the divine masculine, and the top point on the triangle is the unified whole. Oh, I did not know that. Okay, so, and they're showing me it's the strongest shape in nature. And it's a fundamental shape that is hidden within all other shapes. Maybe except the circle. I don't know. Something about sacred geometry. So if you're into that stuff, I would check that out too. Okay, now they're saying we can go ahead and get more cards. Okay. Okay. So let's grab the deck here and take a look at what I'm feeling. This one, I see this one. So we got 2. Let's get one more because we got 4 for each group here. For group 3. Nope. There it is. Thank you. Okay, so you have unique gifts. Yes, you do. You have unique gifts, number 3. I love that you've got another double numbers of 55, so 33, 55. These could be, again, significant. It's like coding. Yeah, because even look at this coding that's in the card. It's all coding. It's all different forms of language. You know, numbers are a language. Sacred geometry is a language. Sound is a language. Telepathy is a language. The heart has its own language as well. There's so many different soul blueprints are languages. Like there's so many different ways of communicating in the universe. And what they're showing me is that, you're communicating with these past collective timeline points to reunify. Now it's interesting because this card in particular reminds me of the show. I think there's a movie on it as well called Home. It's like a cartoon, and I love cartoons. Like my inner child is very pronounced in my personality. And the energy of Home, it's basically about an alien, and he comes and finds a best friend on Earth and then moves in with her. It's such a sweet show, and it's a really good movie, so I highly recommend watching it if you haven't. But there's something about that movie that has an activation code in it for you guys. So if you feel called to it, I need to rewatch it too now because it's been a while since it's been a couple years since I saw that movie, but apparently there's codes in that somehow related to your journey to wholeness, or no, specifically they're saying that's separate. They're saying that it's related to your unique gifts. So something in that movie, it's like coded with those imprints that help you to activate your unique gifts. specifically for you, your soul. Like, it's not for everyone. It's like your soul kind of set that up in advance. Okay, there's going to be certain movies, certain shows, certain information, certain readings that you come across that are going to activate you in those moments to reintegrate things. Yeah, I can see that you've kind of like planted things all over the place, group number 3. And then you're just like, it just comes up and it's in a very synchronistic way. And boom, yeah, you get these like downloads of information. That is really cool. I want to ask where you guys are from, because even the name of the movie is Home. I want to ask where you guys are from, because I feel like you're a starseed. Yeah, you're a starseed. Andromedan starseed. Okay. Not just Andromedan, they said. There's others in this collective group that I'm reading for that are from elsewhere, but most of you have had lives in Andromeda, or you're affiliated very heavily with the Andromedan galaxy, because it's an entire galaxy. It's not just like one planet. And so you're from many different places in Andromeda. Oh, okay, right, because it's a galaxy. So you're not just like one type of Andromedan. There's like a whole bunch of different variations on that, but we only have one name for it. Okay. Wow. Okay. Sacral chakra. No freaking way. I called it. I knew it. That's what sorry. I just got way too excited. Super loud. Not that it's wrong to be excited. I just don't want to blow your guys' eardrums. I'll turn that down. Sacral chakra, core of creation. Yeah. You guys are doing sacral chakra healing. I knew it. I just love when the cards confirm what I'm picking up on energetically and what I'm channeling through. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, we already really talked about that. It's the core of creation within you. You're reunifying that. You're healing your sexuality, your sacred sexuality, reconnecting to that home frequency within you. Yeah. Okay. And crystal keys. Yeah, see what I mean? Like, you've planted keys all over the place. And look at all of the coding in these bubbles as well. Like, there's light language that they're showing me. They're showing me again, like sacred geometry and different codes that are embedded in, like mandalas. The word mudra is also coming up as well, which is like hand positions and things like that. I don't know any, but just off the top of my head, but, it's like positioning the body for specific energy flow and activations. Crystal keys, right? Okay. They're showing me the crystal on her third eye there. And I was called to select a particular Lemurian seed crystal for each group. I don't actually have any physically in person, but Spirit told me I could just look them up online and connect to the energy remotely, and it would work the same. So I chose your guys's Lemurian seed crystal. So let's find out what that means in context to your reading. They literally just said the core of creation, and we have that card. Okay, so the Lemurian seed crystal that was chosen for you guys is holding the keys. Oh, right, crystal keys. It's holding the keys to the core of creation within you. And this creation, because sacred sexuality and the sacral chakra is not all that goes on there. The sacral chakra also governs our creative expression, which can show up in our gifts. And I feel like you guys are transmitters of language. Yeah, you're key holders. You're key holders. And that's why you've implanted all of these kind of keys into all of these different media content and stuff like that, that you would synchronistically come across throughout your journey at different stages. And like you set it up in a very, very synchronized way. It's actually really cool the way they're showing it to me clairvoyantly. And yeah, there's like a huge like divine order to it all. And it's unlocking this gift within you. Actually, let me tune into that gift, because I don't know if it's necessarily about communication. I think you've just kind of set up those communications to help spur this gift. I'm curious about what this gift actually is. Let me find out. Oh, yeah, it is to do with communication, but it's channeling. you are a divine channel, because they showed me the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown, and then they showed me energy moving up and down like this through all of those three and up above the crown as well. So that's what channeling does. It kind of brings energy down. You translate it, you verbalize it, you express it, you know, whatever, and then it goes back up again. So this is part of your unique gift, group number 3. You guys are divine channels, and you're here to embody those keys. You're here to awaken yourself. You're reintegrating, like I said, this wholeness within you from the balance of the divine feminine and divine masculine, healing through sacred sexuality so that you can find creative ways to express this channeling. Now, okay, so what does that actually mean? Does it mean that you have to like sit here and channel verbally like I do? No, of course not. There's many forms of channeling. Let's say, for example, creating a painting. That's a form of channeling. Writing a story. That's a form of channeling. Motivational speaking, that's actually a form of channeling, and they just gave me that example. Crafting is a form of channeling. Any kind of artistic expression is a form of channeling, basically. Music creation, everything is a form of channeling. If you're doing something with your imagination and you're doing something that's creative, you are channeling. Even inventors, like scientific people, they're all channels as well, because they're tapping into that collective realm of information. That's where they receive the idea for the invention. That's why actually pretty major inventions like the printing press were invented around the same time by multiple people around the world, because they all kind of received that collective download, and then it's kind of like whoever is able to implement it will implement it. So I'm seeing that you're actually being seeded with ideas for creative things that you can do as well. Based on your unique gifts, it's kind of like you're an energetic signature match, and because you're an open channel and you're on this journey to wholeness, you can bring those things in and channel them through you and express them. So if you get a divinely inspired idea, like, oh, I want to make this, or I want to do that, or I want to share this, if you have the capacity to do it, it's been given to you for a reason. And if you don't do it, it'll be given to someone else to do. But if you can do it and you want to do it, then do it. I think it's a fantastic way of reconnecting to, you know, your wholeness, because you are channeling that energy through you, receiving it, experiencing the pleasure of creating it, and, you know, putting action into it. So it's this beautiful balance of divine feminine and masculine. And when you channel things through like that, especially when you're doing it very consciously, you are imparting codes and keys into what you create. So I actually talked about this a lot on my old channel, ToKittyandBeyond. It's called it's called imprinting. Yeah, it's like coding into artwork. So you can imprint codes into all sorts of artwork, and the light beings that are here on the planet are doing this in many different ways, because when you listen to a song, it's encoded with love that activates love within you. If you look at a painting that's encoded with information about consciousness and enlightenment and expansion, that's going to help you activate that within yourself. So it's really like your light worker kind of, they said duties. I was going to use a different word that's not quite so like rigid, especially since we're talking about wholeness and the sacral chakra. I would use something as like your light worker creative expression is really kind of centered around art and creative expression in some way, shape, or form, because that helps to get these codes out, because you've coded all of these other things to activate you so that you can create things that activate others. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's like it all just kind of goes around. Yeah, oh, there you go. You got some circles here, some spirals. Yeah. So yeah, group number 3, you're here to create art in some way, whatever that means for you, and creating wholeness within yourself and healing the sacral chakra and your sacred sexuality is going to help you to be this very clear channel for these keys to come through, to activate you, and then to be shared with others through your gifts, whatever those happen to be. All right, so that is what I see for you, group number 3. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad that you were called to the reading to receive these messages from your divine self and from the Lemurians. And also, of course, from the Andromedans and the human collective. All right, so many blessings to you, Lightworker, sending you so much love, support, protection, and healing. And we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.